let's show you where I began and where this sort of rabbit hole went for me. There's this article 3 hours ago, right? Giantfreakingrobot.com. Yeah, giant freaking robot. Okay, and yeah, I told you, piping hot news. See what I did there? Popping height news. No, the other way around. Strike that, reverse it. Anyway, giant freaking robot 3 hours ago had this. NASA is close to developing a warp drive. Okay, except there's a question mark at the end. So let me reframe that. NASA is close to developing a warp drive? Funny how a little punctuation changes things quite a lot, right? So it got me thinking, right, in terms of not just this article, of course, but what if NASA is actually close to developing a warp drive, right? I'm going to tell you what I think about this article right off the bat. I think this is horse manure. But again, I'm not the arbiter of truth. There's a lot of things to believe about this. There's a lot of ideas and things we can kind of chase down this rabbit hole, including, right, do you believe that there's a sort of a secret space program, right? Sort of a, maybe we do have a warp drive type technology and they're just not letting us know, right? A lot of individuals believe this to be the case in terms of that secret space program, or right, things like this that are actually going on. And so I don't know, regarding this, like, there's a lot of things to believe. Are we close to this? Are we not close to this? Is this even possible regarding Einsteinian physics and the rest of that, the laws of inertia and Newton and all that? I mean, is it even possible? Is this stuff possible? Number one, is it possible? Number two, are we close? Like it says, NASA is close to developing a warp drive? Maybe. Or what do you think? Are you one of the people that thinks that this has been around for a long time and it's part of a secret space program? And yeah, no kidding, Mike. Welcome to the club, right? So let's see. Mike, you bumped something. We can't hear you at all. Is this true? No, that can't be. That can't be. Everything seems fine. See, you guys freak me out when you do that stuff. You guys freak me out when you do that stuff. Everything seems fine on my end. All right, so look, this is the thing, right? Just refresh your streams if you guys can't hear me. Okay, check this out. Let's read a little bit from this article, and you'll see why news cycles frustrate me. Okay, with clickbait and all the rest of this garbage. This is straight from the article. Giant freaking robot. Links are always in the description down below on YouTube. They'll also be there on the podcast feed. Check this out. Warp drive currently exists only as a plot device for science fiction stories, but it may not be long before traveling at the speed of light and beyond leaves the realm of the theoretical and becomes reality. According to a report from the Brighter Side, NASA is making a concerted effort to crack the secret to making warp drive possible. Okay? Warp drive possible. They aren't the only ones trying to make the impossible happen. Multiple scientists are exploring the possibility, as is a guy named Elon. You guys know who Elon is? So do I. There are, however, some big challenges to overcome. All right, straight from the article here. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, it is physically impossible for anything to move faster than light. Even so, NASA engineer Dr. Harold Sonny White is trying to test the limits of physics laws to achieve something close to a warp drive. But there are some roadblocks. Oh, you don't say. Roadblocks. Okay. Moving mass to the speed of light would take a lot of energy. So in 1994, theoretical physicist Miguel Alcubierre, I think is how you say it, developed a theory in which a bubble is created in space-time that could twist distances, shortening the distance between two distant points. All right? Okay. All right. That sounds fine. Dr. White claims a ring-shaped warp drive could theoretically move a football-shaped spacecraft at light speed. With changes to the shape of the ring, enough energy could be generated to move mass through space. Interestingly, of course, this concept was actually shown in Star Wars Attack of the Clones when Obi-Wan Kenobi's ship uses a ring-shaped warp drive to travel to another planet. If you guys remember that, when he went to Camino and found the cloners and all the rest of that, if you're into Star Wars. If not, well, that's okay. No, you don't have to be to talk about this. Here we go. So that's where we start, right? So a few questions as we get into this. I already asked some already, but it is fascinating to me to think about this in terms of, okay, warp drive, right? Warp drive. Advanced propulsion technologies. And, some people have talked about this in terms of not just, let's say, Einstein, but of course, Tesla and free energy and the rest of this, like what the heck is really going on out there? And how close are we to this? Is this one of those things where you believe we are actually close, as suggested in this article? And the other article here, like I said, is from the actual Brighter Side of News. And this is where this comes from. This is from May 8th. And so anyway, you guys can read this stuff if you want to dig into this a little deeper. But the question becomes, right, so how close do you think we actually are to creating a warp drive, some sort of advanced propulsion technology that will allow people to travel the cosmos, okay? Allow people to explore strange new worlds, right? And seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where a troubled mind has never gone before. And so that's really the question here, right? That's what's going on. Do you think this is real? Do you think that we are actually close to this? Or is this just clickbait pipe dreams? Is this just more frustrating news cycles and things that just make no damn sense? Because, well, where the hell are our flying cars, right? Where are flying cars? Hey, okay. So how close are we? So the few questions for you guys tonight, all right? Regarding advanced propulsion, warp drive, and let's say spacecraft capable of taking us to other planets. And not just Mars, of course, Elon and his Mars fixation, right? We've got that, which is a little bit unhealthy, but I think it's a good thing, because if you're not focused and have like huge goals, you're never going to accomplish a damn thing, are you? Like, you got to go for it. And Elon wants Mars, go get it, buddy. I'm all for it. Go get it. Sure. And, there's the arguments about, well, we should be feeding people on Earth and doing this and doing that instead of going to Mars. And, I get it. I get those types of arguments. And yeah, there's a lot of merit there. But also, by the way, we don't know the super volcano in Yellowstone National Park is overdue. And what if it blows tomorrow and we're not on Mars? Well, that sets us back quite a bit. So I think not having all your people in one planet, or all your eggs in one basket, as the saying goes, is probably a good idea, right? So go get him, Elon. I think that we need to, if you're going to talk about resources and spending money and things like this, I think instead of saying, Elon, don't do that, feed the world, we should probably look at our politicians that waste an unbelievable amount of money every year on Lord knows what, because it just seems to disappear into the ether. There's nobody better at just making money disappear than politicians. So, I don't think this is Elon's fault. I think that, let's look to the 9% approval rate of Congress. Anyway, I digress a little bit there. So point is this. All right. Regarding advanced propulsion, how soon do you think this is actually happening? Are we close to this? Is this not even possible? This is a pipe dream that, as just a first couple of ideas here, or are you the type that believes, the conspiratorial type? How dare you in your tinfoil hat? The conspiratorial type that believes that maybe all these missing trillions over the years have actually gone to programs like this and created a secret space program that already exists, meaning that we have possibly warp drives already, and they're not just telling us, right? So I think that's the thing here regarding this. That's my question, right? And then let's do this. Let's do a little bit of conspiracy speculation theater and put you in charge of, the hypothetical Space Force or whatever it is, right? Whatever that happens to be, whoever's calling the shots on where we would go. Let's say you're the commander of the Space Force, okay? And let's say that warp drive advanced propulsion is achieved, okay? And they go to you and ask you, all right, well, Commander, or whatever it is, we've achieved warp drive. We've got the rocket built. We've got astronauts ready to go. Where do we go first? Where do we test drive this baby? Where do we take it? And, well, it's your call. So that's the question, right? That's the question regarding tonight. There's a lot of ways to look at this, a lot of ways to think about it in terms of not just technology and how far we've come. And again, I do love science. I just hate how it's politicized. And I think that undermining science for politics is criminal. It's disgusting to me, and it's what is actually undermining the idea of this, like going to Mars and whatnot. There's a lot of people that believe Mars isn't even real. And that's okay if you don't believe it is. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I think it is. I can go out and I can look at it. I can buy a telescope and I can see the red thing in the sky. And, there's that. But I don't want to get into that. But in any case, right? So where would you go first, all right? And there's lots of places. There's lots of places you can go. There's a lot of really really cool places, right? I mean, we've got planets nearby. We got Venus. That would probably be super hot to go check that out. And I don't mean like super hot, but I kind of do mean super hot, right? But so that's the question, right? Where would you take this? Where would you want to go first if you were the commander of Space Force and they said, all right, Commander,